Hello ARFCOM viewers, please allow me to introduce myself to the channel for the first time. My name is Pat, and Paul has brought me along to help with the channel just in case he ever decides to send Andrew on that helicopter minigun hog hunt. So now that he doesn't have an excuse for channel coverage, if you will, leave him a little gentle persuasion in the comment section. I'm sure Andrew will love you for it. But what we're here for today is to take a look at the POF Revolution DI. It's an absolute game changer. I'm going to give you an up-close look at it and go over its features. But first, a special thanks to our sponsor for bringing you this content today, TNVC. Go check them out at tnvc.com. So now let's go over to the table and take a look at what makes this rifle so special. Okay, so to get started, we're going to give you a closer look at this rifle. We have MFT furniture. This is their minimalist stock. Ambidextrous charging handle, full ambidextrous controls. Of course, POF has put in their own 4.5-pound trigger. We have forward assist, and then we have some grooves cut here as an assist as well, if you just wanted to push it by finger. We have the Renegade rail over a 16.5-inch nitride heat-treated fluted barrel, and a very effective 3-chamber muzzle brake. This really cuts the recoil of this 6.8-pound rifle. As for 6.8 pounds, it's 6.8 pounds before accessories. What we have on here is a Cloud Defensive optimized weapon light and just a temporary scope. There is a Gen 3 Razor that it has our name on it, that we are simply waiting on it to be delivered. So there is a close-up of that very effective 3-chamber muzzle brake. Here we have the 9-position adjustable Dictator gas block, tucked nicely under the rail there. And this one has the E-squared dual extraction technology. We'll go over that one more shortly. There's a very large heat sink in there around the chamber. Nice little QD mount there. We have an ambidextrous magazine release, which is a very nice feature. And then this right here is the baddest of the bad levers. I'll go over that shortly. So now let's showcase what gives POF their claim to fame with the Revolution here. Of course, if you have any question, the POF does have the red drop-in trigger, so for our comparison, the POF has the red. And I brought out my Seekins. I got a Seekins billet lower here. This is just standard AR-15 stuff to compare and show how POF got the 308 to fit inside of that lower receiver. So now if we'll line up the front takedown pins, you can see the POF has a much larger mag well than the AR-15. Now the way that they did that is they shoved the trigger backwards to accommodate. And when you grab the rifle, you really don't realize that that trigger is that much further backwards. It's kind of a neat thing how they still have somewhat similar ergonomics. And of course, overall length was affected just by a slightly different buffer tube on the Seekins. It'll go 1 notch lower, so if I pull it out, they're apples and apples. But that is exactly how that compares to your standard AR-15 lower. Pretty neat stuff. Now that we're through with the talking, it is time to shoot the Revolution. With all of the shooting ranges locally being closed because of pandemic reasons, I've had to improvise. We're going to call this section Rooftop Appalachians. But first, I'm going to show you the baddest of the bad levers. Right there in the front of the trigger housing is the bolt catch. This is very neat. You can get at it from either side and lock the bolt back. It isn't an external bad lever like you've seen in the past. They've actually pushed that one right up through the receiver. So now, let's jump up on the roof, use it as a rest. I've got a paper target set up at 100 yards. We'll show what type of groups this is capable of. Welcome to the first ever installation of Rooftop Appalachians. We're on the roof of a Dodge truck because we can't find any open shooting tables with the Appalachian Mountains in the background. Let's do East Tennessee proud. I've got a target, paper target at 100 yards. Let's see what type of groups this thing is capable of. All right, there's our 5. Let's go retrieve our target. To explain the E-squared extraction system, this piece of brass that I just picked up off the ground is perfect to show that there are 4 grooves cut into the chamber, and when the rifle is fired, the gases come back to push on the cartridge. So you get a true dual extraction. You see the groove there and the mark with the gases coming back. So you get a push and a pull to extract it. And it doesn't look like it's ruined the brass in any means. I'm sure it's reloadable. But now, for our target. We've gone and retrieved it. And we have basically put 5 rounds right there. Little red dot is a perfect 3/4 of an inch. Man, if it wasn't for that flyer, we'd have had a perfect group. And of course, there's the corresponding group right there on the wood. So very easily sub-MOA capability. Thoroughly impressed with the Revolution DI. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you feel that we've earned it, please consider subscribing. Also, turn on notifications, because subscribing doesn't necessarily mean subscribing. Special thank you to our sponsor, TNVC. Go check them out at tnvc.com. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. I'm Pat, and I'm signing off.